Greetings, family, the family of the righteous, the family of those who have been oppressed, the family of those who are still oppressed, the family of those who don't know they're oppressed, the family of those who are partying like there's no tomorrow. Those are my people. Now, this video is talking about federally recognized holiday. Now, you have to do your own research because I'm just a guy on YouTube sharing the little intelligence I have for the purpose of the whole to benefit. This is a wonderful platform to inform, to enlighten, to educate. So I'm an educator. Went to his college. He gave me a degree in English. And I'm using it to the best of my ability. Words are so important. You can be hypnotized by words. We always have been imprisoned by words because you don't know what they mean. So I'm just asking some questions here, and I want you to do your own research. What you're looking at is the holidays. And I don't need to read them because you can see them. But what I want to point out is that Juneteenth and Martin Luther King birthday are among, these are federally holidays, government holidays. This is really kind of humorous because the only person you see in this list as federal holidays are the first president of the United States, George Washington, and the other person, they say Columbus Day, that must be reference to Christopher Columbus. So the question should have crossed your mind is that why is this man who is fighting for civil rights of a particular people listed with the presidents of the country? And why is Juneteenth, which was a cultural day of so-called black people, now is a federal holiday? We're going to go into that. I just love this topic. I've taught on this before. For those who've been watching my videos, you can go back and recall what I talked about this. It's just that the light is shining so bright to me on what this is. I got to tell somebody. You ever feel like that? You see something, you can't keep it to yourself. Like that woman who hollered about the $6,000. She can't keep it to herself. She got to tell somebody. I tell you not to get it. If I had to tell you about money, anything that's offered from the federal government, I would say leave it alone. It brings back to the point of these federal holidays. These are government holidays, meaning they don't belong to the people. Even the day they chose for the birthday is not the day he was born. They've changed the day. I'm talking about Martin Luther King and Juneteenth. It don't come on the same day every year. it depends on what the government calendar says. We're gonna let you have it on the 20th. We're gonna let you celebrate it on the 22nd or the 15th. When it wasn't born on the 15th, or the Juneteenth was not on the 22nd. You understand what I'm saying? So that proves you right there. It's not your holiday, people. Meaning, you cannot generate any energy from it. Now, I don't know who started this. I think back in the day, I remember Stevie Wonder. Was he advocating Martin Luther King birthday, or was it Juneteenth, or was it both? I'm gonna have to do some research on that. But I am pretty clear that he was advocating Martin Luther King birthday to be federal or recognized. In other words, we want the government. This what's been said when you want it to be a federal holiday. You're saying we want you to put your stamp of approval on this holiday. We want you to recognize this holiday, because if you don't recognize it, it don't really mean much to us. That's a slave mentality. Now there's thousands of tribes, so-called Indian tribes, and people from different cultures. They would not want a federal holiday because it's not for everybody. It looks to me like somebody don't want you to have anything that you can call your own. Do you know all these thousands of so-called Indian tribes? They have special days. They are private holidays, not public. They are private. So why would a government come in and take a private holidays because it didn't apply to the public? It applied to a particular people and make it public, forcing everybody to celebrate it. Now, how can you force somebody to celebrate a holiday that's not nothing to do with you? Or is it to control your mind to make you think you really don't have anything because the government controls it? This is unconscionable, meaning a conscious thinking person would not allow this to happen. If they had any control of their holidays and their culture, they would say, no, you're not making my private holiday public. It's for me and my people. Why? Okay, let's move on. We're going to move on. I got a lot to cover here. We're going to look at another topic here. It's related. And if those who hang on to the end, you're going to get a present surprise. Present surprise. And I appreciate those people who are tuning in, because it shows that you have a thirst for knowledge. You enjoy learning. And I enjoy you. Okay, we got something here called federally recognized American Indian tribes and Alaskan Native. But that's not really what I want. I want something else. So let's go and find it. I want to show you the meaning of federally recognized. Just what does that mean? Okay. Here we go. Recognition. A legal term. Well, let's start over here. What does federal recognize? Can you see that? What does the term federally recognized tribe means? What does the term federally recognized tribe means? Recognition, and that's in quotation mark. They're just talking about this one word, recognition, is a legal term meaning that the United States recognizes a government to government relationship with a tribe, and that a tribe exists politically in a domestic dependent nation status. Did you understand what I just read? What does the term federally recognized tribe mean? Now, we just talked about federally recognized holidays. Now we talking about federally recognized tribes. And whether you know it or not, or whether you have done the research or not, the term Indians, like the term black, colored, Negro, African American, all these so-called names are names given to a particular people over time to hide your identity of who you really are, to keep you confused. And a confused people are dangerous. A confused people are nurtured in ignorance. A confused people are mentally imbalanced and unstable by design. Not that they was created to be that way. It's a design. What does the term federally recognized mean? What does the term federally recognized tribe mean? Recognition is a legal term meaning that the United States recognizes a government to government relationship with a tribe, and that a tribe exists politically in a domestic dependent nation status. Now, what I'm showing here, my thesis, my hypothesis is that, my contention is that as a people, we didn't come in as a tribe. We have lost that knowledge. That knowledge has been taken from us for the most part. You may have people in your family who tell you a tribe that you're from, so-called Indian tribe. For the most part, the label African American, the black, has replaced the term tribe. So, When you're recognized under these terms, you become federal property. And the government can relate to you. This is they telling you what they can do when you're recognized. They can recognize you as a government with a tribe, and that you do exist politically. But look at the last part. In a domestic nation status. So if you're in a domestic nation status, what government to government relationship with a tribe, that a tribe exists politically, don't mean anything. You don't need there's no government to relate to. There's no political relationship to talk about because you are dependent. For those who don't know what domestic dependent nation means, it's a real politicized word that means you have a slavery status. You're a slave. Anytime you're dependent on anything, you're not free. Domestic, meaning you like the term domesticated? Something is domesticated, meaning you're home trained, meaning you're my property. You're not savage. You're not uncivilized. You're domesticated. I've civilized you. I've brought you under my civil authority. Thereby I can criminalize things that you did as a part of your culture. Smoking was a part of the people's culture. Smoking certain herbs, that was a part of the culture. Now, because we have civilized you or domesticated you, the same thing, then I can make what you did illegal under my laws. I can criminalize you. I can criminalize your culture under the banner of being domesticated. You're domesticated now. You belong to me. You're in my house. You have to look at the terms we're talking about. Domestic. What is a term that is contrary to domestic? It's foreign. Now, when you're foreign, then you have the government can't control anything you do. You're foreign to them. Meaning you're free to do your own thing when you're foreign. Or let's give it to you so you can understand. When you're a non-federally recognized tribe, as long as you're not breaking any laws or hurting anyone, the government has no control over you. But once you become recognized, you become part of the government. You become under the authority of the government. Let's put it like that. You give the government power to rule over you. This is why you will never see so-called black people, so-called indigenous people doing anything significantly for themselves as a community on these holidays, so-called federally recognized holidays, because they're not yours. If you want to have a parade, you have to get a permit. You have to be allowed to have a parade because this is a federal holiday. back in the day, you can just take off from work, and we're gonna talk about that work again. What is that really work? What is the real work? Yeah, you can take days off from your work. You may have lost some money, but you was free to do whatever you wanted to do. That was your holidays. And by having something you called your own, don't you know that gives you status as a free person? You can really worship the Creator as a free person. You can't worship the Creator as a domesticated, dependent nation because God came to make you free. So if you're in a domestic dependent nation status, you are not free. Okay. How's it's going? Everybody understanding what I'm saying? I'm not getting any feedback over here. Where y'all at? Oh, y'all watching the game. Y'all watching the green and red, which is your flag. Wow, man. I mean, when your eyes get open, you look at what's really happening. You say, well, I'm just telling you, domestic, dependent nation status. Now, if you really was honoring Dr. King, would you be playing games on this day? Would you be celebrating? Entertaining people? Or would you take since it's just one day a year, or will you take a solemn vow of honor him? No, it's become a federal holiday, so everybody can take off. Why should you have a day just for yourself? No, we're gonna make it a public holidays. A public holidays. No other people allows that. Do you know how many thousands of tribes in America? How many different ethnicities of people? Even Irish have a holiday. Is it federally recognized? Well, it's not listed here. I showed you the federal recognized holidays, didn't I? Was Irish listed? No. Meaning what? Meaning they are not domestically dependent nation status. See, it's the same gimmick that was done to our ancestors with the federally recognized tribes. They call them the 7 civilized tribes. There's a few more. And why they call them civilized? Because you are now law now. We've taken your land, your language, your freedom. We have domesticated you. You're not free to go run wild anymore, doing what you want to do. You got to do it under our law. So if you were smoking herbs as part of your culture, now it's against our laws. It's a law. We're gonna make it unlawful for you to do that. Unlegal. Not they can't. The word is illegal because only law comes from the Creator. Remember the Moses Book of Laws? So what I'm saying here is that when you really have your own law, which is the law of the Creator, Can nobody domesticate you or make you a dependent nation? That should be an insult to any thinking people when someone say domestic dependent nation. They say you're a nation. See that? But the status you have, because you domestic dependent, meaning you don't have anything that you can call your own. You're not independent. You're domestic, meaning our laws, our legal status applies to you. You you living in our house. You remember domestic workers? They worked in the house, right? You living under my roof, you do as I say. That's the kind of nation you are. So do I have to tell you who these people are? Or you get in the picture? Because a picture is worth thousands of words. Well, I think I made my point. The point that was needed to be made in under 30 minutes, because I don't want you to get bored. Don't come in and stall for over 30 minutes. And anybody who robs you of time, which is irreplaceable, they don't respect your time. So I respect your time. And I hope my prayer is that, not prayer, that's not a good word because it looked like I'm preying on you. Like a hunter trying to catch something to eat. No, I'm not preying on you. My will is that what I've shared here is as benefits you. And that you would see your domestication is not something to be proud of. You know, some people look at these jobs like they're serving God. That's the trick. A nation that don't care about you, it proves every opportunity they get that you are a domestic dependent nation. But yet you love to serve that nation so much that you serve them religiously as if they are God, as if that's going to get you into heaven. Well, the older you get, you'll learn. That is not the way to heaven. That is the way to hell. That's why when you go in the offices, places of business, the first thing they say is, hello. Welcome to hell. You got a hell of a nerve coming here. So that's it, family. And this is for family. I know a lot of people want to see what we're doing because they say those are my slaves. They're a domestic dependent nation. So they don't have a right to do anything for themselves. That's how some people think. Now look at me like you know why people buy dogs? Mostly for security. Somebody come around their yard, whoa, 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 whoa. He's warning you. Hey, somebody's out there. Alert, alert. That's my job. Not to follow me, but just somebody who's sounding the alert. You got to do your own research for this to mean anything to you, because if you haven't researched anything, it's never going to mean anything to you. You got to learn for yourself. Can't nobody learn for you. You got to put some work in. So now you know what federally recognized mean. It's a slavery status It keeps you dependent.